Funk it up. I'm a gorilla on the hose. Cause I'm a pimp, nigga, you ain't know. I'm a Mac man on the stroll. I'm out here trying to make a hole. I'm a gorilla on the hose. Cause I'm a pimp, nigga, you ain't know. I'm a Mac man on the stroll. I'm out here trying to make a hole. Talking smart to a pimp, you done broke the first rule. I'ma come on your job, I'ma act a damn fool. When your boss walk in, I'ma play it off cool. If he step in our biz, I'ma slap his ass too. I got love for you first, meaning that I love you. Marriage to the cheese first.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
How you
screaming,
guys
I
doing
do.
out there?
No money for a Mac, mean drama for a hoe. Paramedics toting you through the trauma center door. Busted lip, broken leg, but I got my bankroll. Tried to put a struggle up, so they got their eyes rolled. Find you Taco Bell, but a pimp eating steak, cornbread, collard greens, chitterlings on my plate. Gold in my mouth, money I'm a counter. I'm a counter, money I'm a counter. Gold in my mouth, money I'm a counter. I'm a counter. I'm a gorilla on the hose.
Dig that.
Cause I'm a pimp, nigga, you ain't know.
Dig that.
I'm a Mac man on the stroll.
Dig that.
I'm out here trying to make a hole.
Dig that.
I'm a gorilla on the hose.
Dig that.
Cause I'm a pimp, nigga, you ain't know.
Dig that.
I'm a Mac man on the stroll.
Dig that.
I'm out here trying to make a hole.
Dig that. Yeah. Oh, snaps. It's going down. Breaking news. That boy is good.
Funk it up.
Fuck it up. Fuck it up. Fuck it up.
Funk it up.
Fuck it up. Fuck it up. Fuck it up.
The game is to be sold and not to be told. But let me tell you how I'm hard.
Yeah.
Super bitch.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful night. It's I guess it's 2:07. I'm a little late. I'm always late. I'm a black man. Give me a break. But I always got breaking news for you. That's one thing that I can successfully bring to you. We're gonna go ahead and there's some stuff going on right now that I want to do this. See, excuse me. So we got wildfires going on, brush fires, I guess they call them, and they're tearing up stuff everywhere. I want to go. This is some of it's going to be on the internet, then some of it's going to be. I don't got to work tomorrow too, so I'm going to go hard in the paint tonight. So if y'all want to see a good show, stick around, comment, subscribe, please. Just subscribe. That's all I need. I need to get 500 so I can be monetized. And I'm at 30, so got a long ways to go. But hey, I'm here for you, and we gonna figure out what's going on in the world together. All right, so where were we at? Let's go to. I'm gonna go to my history. And I'm going to show you what's going on It's popping off out here.
It's where they live. They love.
All right, so here we go. Shazam. And they're going to blame this on climate change. They're going to blame this on climate change. So if you see right here, it's going down. This is just the beginning. It gets wild. This is daytime. So let's go ahead and kind of push it to
Fire crews in the area, yet some property damage was taking place. So he took it upon himself. He grabbed a fire hose, or a garden hose rather, and put out some of those fires that we're seeing right there. But again, this is what fire officials say don't do.
See, California don't even got water. So, like, what do you expect them to take out a fire with if they haven't got water? You know what I'm saying? Trump was talking about that. And they got some kind of fish that's out there that they're trying to save. And they're stopping some kind of a river that's going to flow through. And if they just let that river flow through, the whole state of, the whole state of California would have water. So I don't know anything about this. I just know that he said that, and everybody didn't say that he was wrong. So when I notice that the media doesn't come back and try to act like he's not right, I know he's on the right path. And sometimes when he says that what he says and they say he's wrong, I kind of believe that more than I believe anybody. I just noticed that Trump hasn't lied to us, not that I know of. If you can find something, please send it to me. You know, he may have not done what he wanted to do, but people have stopped him from doing it. It wasn't that wasn't his choice, you know. But here we go, man. Biden administration is ending off in fire.
Do not try this at home. Don't hunker down. Don't think that you can fight this fire with a garden hose.
Yeah, I mean, Matthew just covered it.
Hey, man, you should try to fight a fire or whatever you got. Like, I'll piss on a fire if I had to. Like, what are you talking about? If it's about to burn down my house, I'm supposed to grab anything and everything to try to stop the fire. And they're trying to tell you not to. These guys is crazy, man. What are they saying? Like, it's going to make it more potent? Like, it's going to make it... They just don't want you to use the water.
And we should remind our viewers, probably don't need reminding, that not long ago it was the Malibu fire, the Franklin fire that erupted. That started late in the afternoon and into the night, into our coverage that picked up on Good Day LA, and Matthew was out there kind of doing the same thing. So helping out where we can. So we have two live pictures. This is Christy Fajardo, the bigger...
What about the Maui fires? No, everybody forgot about that. That's a whole nother thing. Conspiracies that just come out of everywhere. The lasers.
Picture, of course, that sunset in Temescal, and then we're waiting for a press conference, and the smaller box that's at the staging area at Will Rogers State Beach. Time has not officially been announced yet, but Haley Winslow, she's been staged there, and she tells us that she got word it should happen around 3 o'clock. So LAFD will be leading that press conference, but since I do live on the west side near the station, I will say that when I was out earlier, I was seeing Culver City Fire, other agencies pass on through trying to get there also to help. So this is an all hands on deck firefight, the Palisades fire. It's not just LAFD. We know that Bay Area crews were called in, and they were sent down yesterday and the day before to stage for this life-threatening event. And this doesn't happen often. It's just happened to have happened more often of late in Southern California, beginning with the Franklin fire, and then prior to that it was the Ventura County fire that we covered too. That was really devastating to that neighborhood. So here we go again with these life-threatening fire conditions, and we're seeing the result of all of that as people are trying to get out. When we talk about
See, this is the reason why. There's so many reasons why not to live in California. They got earthquakes, wildfires, it's expensive as hell, doo-doo everywhere, fiends everywhere, robbers everywhere. This is like, if anything is close to hell, go to California or Portland. That's actually the real what do they call it? Inferno. But they just don't got the wildfires.
evacuations. Bottom line, if you live in Pacific Palisades, you are under an evacuation order. It's now or it could be never, and we don't want you to be in that situation.
That's right. And we are waiting to hear from Mayor Karen Bass, who will be joining the...
Okay, so this is early in the day. We about to keep it going. Look, it's going. I have to drop it in where it's like these guys, they shouldn't even be out here. Here we go. Let's go here.
Smoldering rubble and those embers from the flames just picking up, going over, and we've got at least 2 homes on the far left-hand side burning.
Okay, so I'm going back to school and stuff for broadcasting arts, and I want to be a part of the media and stuff like that. Not really, but I will do it so I can learn. But I'm not about to be put in a situation like this. And then they would be paying me real good. Even then, I wouldn't do it. It's not even worth it. They probably going to end up falling out from cancer or something from inhaling that smoke. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good environment. Some news you can use drones for. We got technology nowadays. Now, you can be in the background doing your analyzing, you know, but get a drone out there and sit in the vehicle somewhere distance away with nice air circulation. Yeah, nah. But I wouldn't be standing in the area where all this fire is flying around. Stupid.
As the fire continues to spread to the east side, and that is the big concern here, but at least this area just...
I bet you money they don't even have, like, they got people who are paid. And that's another thing. If you want to get a good job, if you are like on radios and you listening to the police comms and you get to the scenes and you take footages, a lot of media places will buy the footage, and you can make money off that. That's a really good job. And all you gotta do is just be up and ready for action when it pops off, listening to the police comms. So if there's some, you gotta know the codes too. So hopefully you got a friend that's a police officer that could tell you the major codes to look for. Probably is on somewhere. You can look it up. But some states are different. So, hey, that's another thing when I'm going to be doing a lot of different stuff soon. You'll see.
just a block south of Gelson's itself. If you're familiar with this, we're right in the heart of the village. It's now under that evacuation mandatory order with LAPD going street to street, block by block on their loudspeakers and saying, get out now. And if you're leaving, head east on Sunset. That is the way. Mike, you want to take, we have a quick second, and I think we're okay here. Let's go down and give you an idea of that. Look how ferocious these winds are. This is something also that we're watching out because LAPD's been telling about all the looky-loos. You have a lot of down lines, and you've got to make sure because they could be energized, which would be very, very dangerous, deadly. So they've been on their loudspeakers as well saying, stay away. But look at this devastation down Radcliffe here off Haverford. My goodness. Looks like a bomb blew through here. This was a beautiful 3-story home a couple of hours ago. Nothing but smoldering rubble. And the embers blowing across right to left. You can feel the intense heat as you walk through here. Here's one home that is fully engulfed. And right to the left of it, Mikey, you see some flames up on the top of the roof. That home, we're losing that home too as the winds come through and the embers blow through here. Right in the heart of this firestorm. Again, the winds with those embers blowing through. You can also see how the winds are picking up. And here comes a fire truck right around. Finally coming through here. We're seeing some firefighters moving in here, probably trying to get some water on, trying to control these embers as they're blowing through, because you have this out of control fire and the wind's blowing across. They'll blow across to the next block. Further east, and you've got more spot fires, and that's the big concern. Marla, Alex, you were talking about a call for LA City firefighters. Look at this, Long Beach Fire Department, Engine 10, pulling in here to try to help out with this firefight. So we've got folks from Long Beach. I saw some earlier from Glendale coming in here. So it's an all-out firefight. Everybody hands on deck, mutual aid, helping LA City Fire. And this home we are losing as these embers blow through here. This is the home right next to the one that's fully engulfed. And here come the firefighters as they try to figure out their line of attack. And at this point, I don't think they're going to be able to save this home, unfortunately, but trying maybe to control the spread of embers. And I'm thinking doing structure protection on the home right next to it. That's what he's talking about, structure protection right over here to keep those flames from jumping across this two-story home as you're right in the middle of this firefight here on Radcliffe, just off Haverford. It looks, I don't have the words. Bomb, war zone, look at this. These homes, beautiful, stood here for decades through this area, now smoldering. You got the embers and the wind still blowing from west to east, and that's the problem. This home is gone. Started with some shrubbery burning out front a little while ago.
Just think if that was your house, you'd be pissed. You didn't just paid your mortgage. Hopefully, anybody who has a house or anything like this out there, if you ain't got full coverage insurance, then man, I feel for you.
Bang, just like that, it is up in flames. Good. And here we got the firefighters. That's what they're talking about here. They want to try to do some structure protection. This home, though, has already got fire burning on the top of its roof, but they're going to try to get some water on it to keep those embers from burning to the home next to it. But this is a good sign in the sense, since we've been here the last couple of hours, these are the first firefighters we've actually seen move in here with an engine and try to get some control on this. And this is Engine 10 from the city of Long Beach, not LA City Fire.
Yeah, we finally have some
finally getting a line. It's the first line
to come all the way from.
We've actually seen of some water going up to the top of that roof, trying to get this house down, trying to control those embers through here. Again, this is an area in the village, the heart of the village, where LAPD just went by a little while ago with their black and whites telling everybody it's a mandatory evacuation. Get out, run out now, and head east on Sunset. Evacuate. It is unsafe to be here. I would think most of the folks that have already left. There was that big long jam.
This house right here is pissed.
So most folks were already gone. But as this
Everybody on this block is gone.
Very strongly from west to east, from Temescal.
Like this dude, look at this guy. He's like, man, I'm gonna be out here all night. Well, Pasadena's burning down. I don't know. We're gonna wake up in the morning and find out more about that. We'll see what shakes. All right. I got some good stuff. Let's go. Let's put it together. All right, working with our first topic. I just wanted to go ahead and go with that because that's really going on right now. But we got some little small, well, they're not small. Every breaking news is a big deal. And I take breaking news very seriously. So, this is a woman mistakenly grabbed by some troopers, and then they realized that she was the wrong person.
In her own words, the woman police admit they mistakenly stopped during a pursuit recounts the terrifying moments with her 10-year-old daughter right there in the car.
Yeah, I'm like yelling at the top of my lungs, letting them know that like I have a child in the car. When they took me out, I remember hearing a police officer say, he's like, "Oh, we got the wrong car."
Now, an exclusive follow to an ABC 15 investigation. Here's ABC 15 investigator Nicole Grigg.
You should know the body camera video you're about to see is heavily blurred. That's how police wanted you to see it. And it's the moments after Tempe police used what's known as a grappler to forcibly stop her car. You should also know this happened in October 2023, but we're just telling you about it now.
Wait a minute. So they use the grappler? Like that's doesn't even been used in most like high speed chases. Like it's basically a thing that shoots and hits your car and hooks into it, and they will brake and it will hold you from moving, basically. It's like a dart that shoots out the front of the police vehicle and it busts through your trunk and it holds it. So if you don't know what that means.
Now because it took police nearly a year to release this footage.
You don't need to be scared.
I have my daughter in there.
How would you describe that night?
It was scary. It was very scary.
Tristan Sosa
I didn't know if we were going to live. I didn't know. I could have swore we were going to die.
walking us through that October night, 2023.
I saw a cop car behind me, and then I started kind of like, it looked like he was going to run into me, and I kind of got nervous. I'm like, what? I was like, he's driving really close. And then all of a sudden, he hits my car. I thought he hit my car.
Tempe police were looking for this Buick.
Nah, that was the grappler. I swear, I've never seen it. I've watched high-speed chases all the time. We'll get one of those days where I'm just going to have a high-speed day. It won't be breaking news. It's just going to be, that boy's good. High-speed chases, the greatest of 2024, probably. Because 2025 hasn't started yet, really. But we'll get to 2025 high-speed chases, the greatest, too. But I know I can do 2024. I got some that back in the days, high-speed chases that's happened that are epic. Epic. These guys, they have a plan. They don't, especially in California, they get away so many times in California. It's insane. I'm like, wow.
Assisting the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office with the pursuit. They were searching for a man with a warrant for aggravated assault in the town of Guadalupe.
Did they try to even make a traffic stop? Did the police officer have lights?
So they were looking for a man and they came across a woman. And then that's what they realized, like, we got the wrong shit. Don't worry about it. We'll, can I have your ID and all your information? We're going to take care of this. This is going to be stupid. These guys is whack.
Sirens and try to pull you over first?
No, not at all. That's why I thought it was strange because.
No, they just ride up on you fast as hell, and then they whip the lights on like, whoop, whoop. You'll think that they about to kill you or some car is about to slam into you. You'll be smart because how they're set up, they don't got no lights on the top like they used to. They don't have a certain kind of signature type of style. They just be in all different types of cars. So you don't even know if a police officer is behind you unless you are part of the police station, police force. Because they're getting real, real critical with it. They have their symbols. It's almost, you got to see it in the light for it to actually show. So if they're trying to be transparent and let you know that they're there so people can come and run to them if they need to, they're not doing a good job on that.
Because when I looked in my mirrors, he was driving really close, and all of a sudden I just felt like a big bang.
That bang was police deploying a grappler. Tempe does not have dash cameras, so
the grappler.
we never see the actual moment it happens. Those yellow nylon straps wrapped around her back tire and yanked her car to a complete stop.
The exact moment when it happened, it was devastating. It was scary. Like, it was definitely scary. And just seeing my daughter's face was, I don't think I could ever forget that.
Now listen as police.
He was like, what the hell you do? Why the hell these police is on us? You've been selling yourself You got drugs on you. No, Daddy.
Learned they made a mistake and grappled the wrong car.
Is anyone else inside?
Grappled the wrong car.
Okay. Keep your hands up and just keep walking backwards.
There's gas is leaking and the daughter's over here.
Yeah.
We'll get her. Let's go get her.
We know. We see it. Keep coming.
Let's go get her the
It's a lawsuit.
daughter. Yeah. This is the wrong car. Let's get the daughter.
They knew it immediately after they realized this chick, when she came out looking hot.
Officer wrote in his own report that the suspect vehicle and Tristan's are the same make and model. He also wrote the grappler caused a puncture to the gas tank.
They already knew that they got the wrong car. I don't know why they would even try to discuss whether or not to get my daughter out.
Man, they was doing protocol because that's how they got to do it. And if they don't do it that way, somebody in their office can fire them just off some GP. I got written up at my job and sent home because somebody stubbed their toe. I ain't even gonna go into it, man. This is what I'm saying. You got to go through protocols.
The car in a situation where the gas tank is leaking, when the car could explode, like, that's scary.
So what happened to your car?
It got totaled.
The city of Tempe says that they reimbursed you $500.
$500? She couldn't drive home, probably. She had to go through a whole different ordeal to get back to where she needed to. $500 ain't nothing these days. I'll go through $500 on MGM gambling in an hour. So, like, that's just insane. These people do not care what they do, and then they have no remorse.
What did that pay for?
Right, yeah, they never even did that. Not even a
What, they did never even give them the 500?
penny.
Documents shared with us showed the damages were estimated at nearly $10,000. Emails between Tristan and Tempe's risk management team show her car was deemed a complete loss.
It's been kind of rough, so.
Remember, guys, I don't watch none of these things. I'm watching them with you. This is just stuff that I went through today while I'm at work, and I just will see something that seems interesting, and I will save it so we can watch it together, you know. But it is breaking. These people are breaking people's cars, breaking their lives, and breaking all kinds of rules.
Yeah.
So let me understand this. So your car was deemed a total loss.
Right.
You still don't have a car.
Right.
You have to Uber to work.
Right.
And you're just working part-time because you can't afford to keep paying for an Uber.
Right. And then, like, that adds up to just getting an Uber. Yeah, it's horrible.
And here's what the body camera footage will.
See, some people don't even get paid enough. Your first hour may won't even pay for the Uber drive to work. You might have to work 2 hours just to pay to get to work. And then you got to do 2 more hours just to get back home. So if you only work a 5-hour shift, your ass is grass.
Won't ever show you.
Even when we left too, they were just like here's a piece of paper, just call this number, and we just ended up walking. Me and my daughter went walking to her dad's house.
You walked after that happened?
Yeah, it was only like a mile away. Yeah, no, they didn't
Welcome to the crew.
offer anything like that.
Tristan says the city got her a rental car as they were working through the estimates for a repair. Eventually, she says the city gave her the runaround. Tempe claims they made several attempts to work with her, but by the
At least she knew to go to the news.
time she
They'll give her a shit now because they got put on blast.
reached out again, it was too late, as state law says you only have 6 months.
Nah, that's bullshit. They out of pocket. There's a couple different things that goes on, like restitution and stuff like that. they will, if, like I got robbed a long time ago. Somebody broke into my place and stole my computer from my studio. And I went through the streets and I figured out who actually stole my computer. It wasn't somebody who I hung out with or knew personally like that. I met him one time and he was interested in recording my studio. So I was showing him what I have and some beats. And then a week or two later, I was at work and somebody from my house went to my job. I was working at Jimmy John's at the time, Jimmy John Subs, and he was like, "Yeah, your door is wide open." So I left my job. Like, I gotta go home. Ain't no reason for my door to be open. And somebody broke into my crib. So why did I find out who actually took it? They got my stuff back. I'm thinking I'm going to get my computer back and I can be back in business, recording people and doing what I'm doing. No, they said this is a part of evidence. And we're going to make him pay you your um, restitution. And you will be able to pay for your own stuff again so you can get another computer. So I'm thinking that like they're going to make this man pay restitution. I've been waiting. This has been since 2007. I called them just a couple of months ago and I asked them about it. And they said that in the paperwork, it doesn't even say that he's supposed to give me restitution, even though the judge personally said that he asked me, how much is it that you want? And do you have the information so we can be able to verify that's how much was taken? And I gave him everything. So it's in the the person who types and said, like, makes sure that everything that's said or done in the court, that's in the paperwork. So I, I'm going after him on that one. I think there's two different places on this because they stole my computer and then the person who stole my computer stole my computer. So they took it from him and kept it and then made me go to court, lose hours and stuff like that. I could have just went and kicked the door down myself on this dude, pulled out my little young Woody son, and got my computer back and called it a day. Never would have had to go through any of that. But no, I'm trying to do it the right way. You go through the police, they gonna run around and tear yourself up, take your stuff, and act like it's not a problem, like you just supposed to deal with it. I've solved the problem. I did the investigation. I found the crook. And I can't even get my stuff back. Still to this day. It's pathetic. Sorry I'm ranting, but I think that's what you come here for. I told you I don't got to work tomorrow, so we're going to have fun.
Wants to file a notice of claim for damages.
And then he just told me it was too late and that he couldn't reimburse me.
You said that you did try to find an attorney.
Yes, but there were it was too much money, and I didn't have the money at the moment, and still don't because of bills and trying to save up for a car, and it's just been kind of rough. So
since that mistake,
they ruined a good portion of my life and my daughter's, and yeah, it's been rough.
And she will never forget that moment for her and her daughter.
I just felt like kind of helpless. Like I couldn't do anything for her. That's not a good feeling.
No officers were disciplined. Tempe police tell me that this was a training issue, not a disciplinary issue. The officers did receive further training on how to properly identify suspect vehicles. And the officer who deployed the grappler actually went on to get promoted to sergeant, but just recently resigned from his position. As we're told, he's taking a job outside of the department. As for that $500 Tristan says she never received, the city says that money actually went to the rental car company.
Sorry
I'm
about that,
investigator Nicole Grigg, ABC 15, Arizona.
The ABC 15 investigators reached out to the city again today to see if there's anything they can do to make this right. And they responded by inviting her to fill out the city's claim form.
Woo-wee. That's how it goes. Oh, man. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. They treat you like crap. So, let's keep it going, guys. All right. What we got next? Do 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 do. What we got next? All right, let's see. Akron teenager kidnapped, held in a basement while friends, I guess, knew about it.
A teenage girl gruesomely attacked, kidnapped, beaten, stripped, and robbed. Thankfully, she was somehow able to escape and find help. First at 4, Brittany Wares Live shares how police are working right now to find her attackers, Brittany.
This story is just horrible and sickening. A 19-year-old girl was lured to a home by people that she considered to be her friends. Now police are determined to find everyone involved in this vicious attack.
Akron 911, what's the location of your emergency?
Yeah, I just picked a young lady up. She was walking down the street naked. Said somebody jumped there and robbed her. I got her in the car here. I'm pulling over the BP right here so she can get out the cold. She's butt naked. She has nothing on.
This is the 911 call to Akron police on December 27th.
Not to laugh or anything, but he was like butt naked. I'm not lying. She butt naked right now in the middle of the street. Butt naked.
So she can get out the cold. She's butt naked. She has nothing on.
This is the 911 call.
Naked. She has nothing on.
This is the 911 call to Akron police on December 27th, just after midnight. A Good Samaritan said he saw a young girl walking naked on East South Street. When he pulled over to help, he saw she was severely beaten.
Looked like she got blood on her face.
According to Captain Michael Miller with the Akron Police Department, the teenager was lured to a home on Beardsley Street. While there, she says 3 people held her captive in
I
the
would have
basement
grabbed a bag
and
or
violently
something,
attacked her.
covered my
If
balls.
that wasn't enough, the horrific ordeal was recorded.
A lot of
so
facial head
wait a minute.
trauma, injury, bleeding. It's very gut-wrenching to watch that video.
The young girl was eventually able to escape, running out of the home without any clothes on, and find help.
Thank you so much for helping her.
Oh my God. I got daughters.
That sounds like there was a serial killer that was out in Cleveland that was right down the street from the church that my Aunt Niecy went to and I went to. And this dude was whacking girls. He was bringing them in, prostitutes, and getting them high off crack and killing them. And the mama and daddy lived in the lower apartment, and he lived on the top apartment. And he was storing the bodies in the attic and in the backyard. The place smelled like raw doo-doo, and they just didn't even notice it. It'd be weird, man. That's Cleveland niggas, though, man.
Thank God that we have, a community out there of people that care enough to try to step in and give some aid and help.
Akron police say they did arrest one girl, Kendall Worthy, in connection with this attack. She's being held in the Summit County Jail, and her bond is set at $100,000. However, officers say there are more people they need to track down.
This may not even, in fact, be limited to just the 3 people that participated in the...
No doubt, Sherlock. It's a whole bunch of goons and turds that are running around doing weird shit these days. This is the ultimate crazy moment that the world's going to have to experience. I'm telling you. See, basically, from 2000 until 2024, that was the time to learn. Okay. Now you've learned. You know what it is. We got the majority vote. Everybody realized that they ass was grass. That's why you see that right there over in the corner. Your ass is grass. Especially if you voted for Kamala Harris. Nothing against you. I love you. I want you to succeed. But that was not going to save us from nothing. We would have been put into so much problems. And we had celebrities like acting like we were supposed to think that Kamala Harris was going to actually be able to do the job of the greatest country in the world. That's what we believe. And we should believe that. But are we? That's a whole nother thing. I think we've been bamboozled. I think we are. But we are scared as hell right now. Especially when we don't got somebody strong leader. And the military is whack. We don't have as many soldiers. We don't have control over our borders. So many things about America that makes us so much brainwashed. As I always say, that we may be worse than North Korea. Maybe I'm wrong. What do we think we know that is true? All we know is what we've been told. And I'm not telling you to believe that, because then that would be just telling you something to believe.
Assault. There may have been some other people with some knowledge or perspective about this that detectives may want to talk to. We want to hold, in the end, any and everyone responsible.
And Kendall Worthy did appear in court today for her arraignment. Her case has been bound over to the grand jury. In Akron, Brittany Weir, 19 News.
And new tonight and only on KCAL News, a Toluca Lake business owner once called a out of. And new tonight and only on KCAL News, a Toluca Lake business owner once called a cornerstone of the community by the local chamber is accused of being part of a massive crystal meth distribution operation. KCAL News reporter Tom Waite is live in Toluca Lake now to explain. And Tom, people there are in disbelief over these charges, right?
Oh, man. So we got a crystal meth. In an LA County store owner connected to some Nashville biggest drug bust, police say. So it's some kind of business owner basically holding down the meth. I'm going to pull it back because I didn't catch the beginning. Telling you, I don't watch none of this stuff. I just found it and said, this is good. What do you think?
And new tonight and only on KCAL News, a Toluca Lake business owner once called a cornerstone of the community by the local chamber is accused of being part of a massive crystal meth distribution operation. KCAL News reporter Tom Waite is live in Toluca Lake now to explain. And Tom, people there are in disbelief over these charges, right?
Pat, that's absolutely right. When I spoke to people outside of the shop, this is the shop right here behind me, people thought I was joking. They did not believe that these charges could possibly be real. But yeah, this is the shop, this mailbox shop, where police say a massive meth distribution operation was being centered out of. Mailbox Toluca Lake is a staple in the neighborhood here on Riverside Drive. It's frequented by actors and people who work in the entertainment business. Its owner, Jonathan Kramer, was even called a cornerstone of the community by the Toluca Lake Chamber in a 2023 Instagram post.
You know, I love Toluca Lake. The people in Toluca Lake all support the town and the community. And, you know, we all take care of each other, and it's like one big family.
But police say the nondescript mom-and-pop shop was doing a lot more than providing secure mailboxes and herbal remedies for actors. Police say Mailbox Toluca Lake was at the center of a massive crystal meth distribution.
Oh, man, that's just good.
Operation between LA and Nashville, Tennessee.
This is not a joke.
No.
I'm stunned. He's a charming man. Everybody that works there is very charming.
Local and state investigators in
That was a joke, yeah.
Tennessee say the drug bust connected to Mailbox Toluca Lake was the biggest in Nashville history. A total of 5,000 pounds of meth was seized. Nashville investigators say they were first alerted by FedEx in late 2022 about suspicious packages being sent from Mailbox Toluca Lake. More than 260 pounds of crystal meth was initially seized. Detectives say more shipments were sent from Mailbox Toluca Lake as they tracked the suspect.
They had what's that dude's name? Breaking Bad. That dude was working with him because that's a lot. I don't know. I don't deal with nothing like that, so I couldn't tell you how much that is. But it looks like a lot. That's crazy.
We believe that members of this drug operation use addresses of unsuspecting local residents to which parcels would be shipped and then quickly retrieved right after the delivery trucks drove away.
13 people are charged in connection with the alleged operation. 4 are from California, including the accused ringleader Francisco Serrano, who police say was the source of the meth shipments sent to Nashville. The news that well-known business owner Jonathan Kramer is allegedly connected to all of this is just starting to trickle through social media and word of mouth.
Totally surprised.
Earlier when the shop was open, I did go inside to try and speak with the people who are working there, one of whom identified herself as Kramer's wife. She was very upset when I asked her about the charges. She did not want to discuss it. Kramer is locked up right now in LA County. He is on no bail, several felony drug charges. Reporting live in Toluca Lake, I'm Tom Waite, KCAL News.
There is still a very active investigation on Detroit's west side. Human remains were found there earlier today, and now Detroit police are working with the FBI on this case. CBS News Detroit's Walter Murphy is live from this.
You know, I'm from Michigan, so you're going to hear me pulling out a lot of breaking news out of Michigan. Because I got to. I see it all the time. I live in a liberal cesspool.
Scene as the investigation continues. Walter, good evening. Any progress on figuring out who this is, and also how are these remains found?
Well, Terrence, the homeowner actually hired a construction crew to get the house ready for new tenants. But when that crew got to work, they found those human remains. And right now, authorities aren't able to say whether or not that human remains belonged to a male or a female or an adult or a child.
Well, I hope that it's not really human and someone is playing a cruel joke. I would just hope that.
Nadia Morris's hopes were crushed once she realized that it wasn't a cruel joke and that the home next door.
This is not no joke. She should have known that. She crazy. She know where she at.
Was now the site of an active crime investigation involving human.
She in Woodward. What was it? Woodglen? I don't know. You got all kind of Gratiot and all kinds of weird names out there. First, second.
Remains. Those remains found by a construction crew hired by the home's owner to get the place ready for a new tenant to move in.
Very scary because you don't know if it's a child, adult.
And then I remember when Donald Trump said something about Detroit being a shithole. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn right. I mean, they getting better. But, man, they still got a long ways to go. They ain't like Ann Arbor or anything like that. Sorry about that noise, y'all. Yeah, they ain't like Ann Arbor or nothing like that, man. Even Ann Arbor got rats. So, it's a rat. Basically, they got to get everything cleaned up everywhere.
Or somebody's over here doing things they're not supposed to, so.
Morris, who's lived in this neighborhood for 15 years, says that this house in particular had sat empty for about a year after the previous family, which had 2 parents and 5 children, suddenly moved out.
But nobody knew they left. They packed up in the middle of the night and just were gone the next day.
An abrupt departure that ended the chaotic scenes that Morris says that her and her neighbors would watch from their windows the entire time the previous family called this corner lot home.
We could hear them arguing, like they would have the door open and it would just get so loud that like neighbors would get concerned and actually call the police over there.
The only detail that Detroit police gave CBS News Detroit was that the remains belonged to someone who was small in stature, but they couldn't say how long they'd been there or give the gender or age of the victim. But they do say they're working diligently.
I hope it's not a child.
To remove every clue from this backyard.
I hope it's no one realistically, but it's not. It's somebody, but I just hope it ain't a child.
That they can.
We'll actually be making the exhumation by hand. I can in no way give you a length of time that this investigation will take, but extremely sad day, and we will exhaust our resources to hold the people accountable for it.
Again, they say that they will be out there to get all of those remains out of that yard, but IDing that body could take several months. Terrence.
Walter, thanks. We'll keep following it.
All right, then. Let's see here. All right, so one thing about me is...
Well, let's get a live look right now at the highways in central Ohio. Let's take a live look. This is I-71 South.
I was born in Ohio, and I know about the weather and how it can get crazy, especially in Cleveland. So right now they got a winter storm that's going on, and I'm just glad that I'm not in Cleveland. I know I talked to my families. This is Columbus, but Cleveland I know is definitely going to be tore up.
Well, let's get a live look right now at the highways in central Ohio. Let's take a live look. This is I-71 South, and you can see this highway is looking clear. No problems there. Traffic moving along smoothly. And if we take a look at the ODOT cameras here, these are 4 traffic cameras across central Ohio. You can see a similar situation on these roads. ODOT says it has 200 crews out treating central Ohio roadways. The city of Columbus has its own crews treating city roads. They're called the Snow Warriors, of course, and boy, have they had a busy day.
The Snow Warriors.
Making sure.
That sounds like a drug deal or something going on, like some drug dealers. Like, we the Snow Warriors. We sell all the snow. You need it, come to the Snow Warriors.
You can get home safely. 10 TV's Carly Dion is live tonight in Columbus, looking at how well the city is doing at getting these roads cleared. Carly?
Yolanda, most of the main roads.
She's kind of hot.
Roads throughout the city that we've seen tonight are pretty clear, but a lot of the residential roads are looking like this one that we're on right now. You can see still quite a bit of snow covering the ground. We're here on
Quite a bit of snow. That's regular.
Timberman Road in Grandview Heights, and obviously parked cars on the street can make it a challenge for these plows as they're trying to make their way through.
That's another thing about Ohio. They don't have 2 lanes. They just give you a lane and you make your own way. Like, you'll be seeing people riding next to each other. There's no line. They just make their own left, or if they want to be on the right side. It's so weird out there.
But tonight I spoke with some city officials about their efforts to finish cleaning up the roads.
Hopefully this wind dies down overnight and we can continue to make progress.
Columbus
is not.
Snow Warriors remaining hard at work to clear the roads until the job is done. This year, they're at an advantage. Their fleet of 55 dump trucks makes them fully staffed for the first time in years.
They didn't need to be fully staffed for years because there was no snow. Remember climate change?
Along with additional support from auxiliary workers.
These are folks that work full-time for the city and other departments that have signed up to help us.
Columbus Mayor Andrew Ginther says these volunteers are coming from city departments such as recreation and parks, parking enforcement, as well as building and zoning services. These crews focus.
Anybody who's in Michigan, if they got like a shovel on their truck, you might as well go down to Ohio, because we ain't getting none of this stuff. It's because of the wind and Lake Erie, especially in Cleveland. Like, they get worse. I remember when I was a kid, it was nothing for me every winter to to make a snowman and snow castles. Like I would have forts that I would build that could cover my body. I was a kid, but when I walked through the sidewalk, it was a wall of snow next to me. Like I was walking like this, and there would be snow on both sides. And I'd be like walking, like I couldn't see anything other than snow. So I ain't seen that. I mean, I'm taller now. I'm 6'3". But back then, when I was a kid, I don't remember exactly the size I was, but I know I was tall enough that you would think that the snow wouldn't cover over my head, but it did.
On priority 2 and 3 areas, which make up the residential neighborhoods. This relatively new effort is making an impact.
How much of a difference are these auxiliary crews making in the snow removal process compared to years when they weren't used?
It's a huge difference because right off the bat, we're able to start getting in and servicing those neighborhoods.
In years past, crews did not start plowing residential neighborhoods until all Priority 1 roads were cleared. Now, Mayor Ginther is asking anyone who may be back on the roads tomorrow to leave a little extra time to get to your destination.
Whether you're going into the office, getting your kid to school, getting into a bus stop, go ahead and start, set that alarm for a little bit earlier for tomorrow. Give yourself a little bit more time.
He also suggests checking in on your neighbors and helping out those who might need it.
We need people to shovel their sidewalks, particularly if the kiddos are back in school tomorrow, so they can have safe passage. If there are sidewalks, that way they're not walking in the road.
All while snow warriors continue to work until there's no snow left to be cleared.
We're monitoring the forecast, we're monitoring the conditions, and again, we're going to stay on top of that stuff until Mother Nature starts to help us out.
And if you'd like to track the progress the snow warriors are making throughout the city, you can find a link to that on our website. Live in Grandview Heights, Carly Dion, 10 TV News.
All right. Well, looks like the snow, the fire, the wind, earth, wind, and fire. Well, keeping it going. Now, this is, see, the one thing about me, too, I'm going to let you guys know, I'm not just going to be bringing mainstream news on my podcast. I'm going to be grabbing news from YouTube podcasters because we got it down way more than the mainstream media. We are more in tune, and I'd rather show you what's going on from them too, not just from what the mainstream media is, because that's what we can always go find the mainstream. So I always am going to be bringing stuff from YouTube, from other people who do YouTube, and they have stories that they have to tell. This one right here is sad. I'm confused. I know that there's a lot of fog that's going on in the world, and a lot of people has been complaining about it, saying that it's doing something. But this is interesting, and you can see it for yourself. I came across this today, and I was just like, I gotta add this on, just because he needs support, and I'm the guy. I'm bringing breaking news for everyone, so everybody can see what's going on. Now, granted, I don't know if it's the truth or not, if that's what's really going on, but it's up to you to think about what you think it is. That's how it works in the world. We have to give out all the information, and everybody, as a majority, can come to conclusions and think wisely on what is what. But if we don't get the information, we can't make a choice. So don't cut us off. Just let us talk. We're not harming no one. Moving along. Here we go.
This is one of the most difficult videos I've ever had to make.
Sorry.
As you can tell.
Sorry about it being so loud. Sorry.
Oh, by the dim light, it's still early. Day's just breaking. I've got to pull myself together. Day is just broken, and I've come out to feed the birds, check my bees, and I woke up to complete disaster this morning. I thought they'd be safe because they're livestock, not indoor domesticated pets. But my quails, they're all dead except one. I have one. I was fortunate enough. Hey, birdies. See, they need my help right now so badly. I'm only feet away from them and they're not even running. There's this.
What kind of microphone this guy got? He's got it on loud mode. All right, let me turn it down just a little bit.
This stupid fog rolled in with this storm. This fog that everybody's been reporting from around the freaking world. They're telling us it's not harmful, it's not dangerous. Well, why did it kill 7 of my 8 quail birds? Huh? I can't even show myself on screen right now. I've got to pull myself together. Come on, guys. I'm down here in the fruit orchard. There's some beautiful cardinals. Let's go check on my honeybees. I did everything I could to prepare for this storm. It's not the snow. It's not the temperatures. My quails, they had endured sub-freezing temperatures for weeks. But this stupid fog that nobody wants to answer for, everybody wants to act like it's nothing, it's just normal, comes through with this storm. Look, you can still see it. You can still see it. It's encasing the homestead. The only thing I can figure is that the 7 birds, my quail birds that came out first, they ate the snow because as livestock, they're semi-domesticated. All right, we were able to keep the... I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm usually better with words. This is just... I've been through some stuff, too, you know. I'm a combat war vet. I've experienced extreme loss in my life, but that doesn't...
PDS, like that. That's the one thing about the dudes that go to war, man. They be going through mind problems. I had a friend of mine who killed himself, and he was a good guy, man. But he went to war, and he had a dog that kept him calm, that he walked around with and stuff. A lot of soldiers, they always need like some kind of a dog or some kind of something to keep him calm. And that's sad, dude. Like, because he's going through stuff when he needs animals. He needs something to keep him together, you know, to make him feel like he is doing something. And because that's what soldiers are there for. They want to be, you know, heroes and saving things. And that's why they do that. Like, you got to be something totally different to go out there and sacrifice yourself for some people that you don't even know. So you will see a person like that be pissed off that birds died because he's sacrificing his life to keep them alive. So, just saying, man, that's sad.
Make this any easier. You come out, you got these little birds that you care for from the time they were chicks, from the time they hatched. I go out and I talk to them multiple times a day. I make my videos back there. You guys have been seeing my quail birds in the videos. You hear them coo. 7 of 8 are now dead, and I have to bury them. I have to bury them, and the one that lived will be living inside with us as if it's an indoor animal now, even though it's outdoor livestock. Because until we get answers about what's going on with this fog these drones, these orbs, and these plasmoids, none of us are safe, especially our fur babies and our feather babies.
Oh, man. I'm gonna leave it at that. It goes on more. If you want to look into it more, just don't put the 7 on there. That's the 7th. I put that on there. But you can look at this up on YouTube and you can watch his channel. I can't remember his name. I forgot. But I pray for his last bird, and I hope that he feels better tomorrow. But we don't know anything. We only know what we've been told. It's just the truth, man. Like, everybody's been bamboozled, led astray. And if you can't, when you acknowledge it and just accept it, you won't be a part of that party. You won't fall for it. You'll know that everything that they tell you is possible, but it ain't a fact unless you see it for yourself. And that even goes for his birds dying. I don't know if they died, but I feel sad for him if they did. Let's go ahead and move along. Here we go.
Mecca, Saudi Arabia, January 6, 2025.
Now check this out. So we got fires, snow, water, floods. Nothing can go right. Yeah, I'm here to bring it to you. I think I live in the perfect area because I don't get tornadoes. I don't get no earthquakes. I don't get none of that stuff. But I will be moving to Vegas, though. You'll see me soon.
Much of Saudi Arabia has been hit by torrential rains, including the holy city of Mecca, which has turned streets into rivers and swept away cars. Shocking images taken on the outskirts of the city showed cars almost completely submerged in water, with their roofs barely above the waterline. This week's heavy rains follow months of record rainfall in April and May that battered the Gulf state. Clips shared on social media showed major roads in the kingdom submerged in massive floodwaters that swept away everything in their path. Residents were also seen abandoning their cars on the road as other partially submerged vehicles tried to wade through the floodwaters.
اللهم أجرنا في مصيبتنا يا رب. والله جاتنا كمية أمطار غير عادية وفي
Video footage of the massive flooding that has hit Mecca today due to heavy rains that have hit the country in recent hours. The video has gone viral on social media and has become a topic of conversation among netizens.
What? Climate change? It's climate change. No, it's seeding the clouds. That's what happens when you do that. That's when you get flooded out. Think about Dubai. They seeded their clouds and they even admitted it. And it went wrong and they ended up getting flooded out. Don't seed clouds. was thinking it was going to do. Look at that, man. That's scary. I was thinking about a surfer or something. He was like, I'm about to go surfing.
In addition, Al-Ukaishia neighborhood in the Makkah Al-Mukarramah region witnessed this evening heavy rain events that caused flooding in the streets, and the water level rose to 3 meters.
3 meters.
MashaAllah, Tabarakallah.
Dang, that's crazy. I want to keep it going on this one, though. We're going to go to something else. That wasn't what I wanted. That wildfire is still going on. They doing it live. I don't work tomorrow, so I may, I don't know. You might catch me in the morning, and I might do another one just for shits and giggles. All right. So just remember, I do go through YouTube channels for breaking news, not just mainstream media. I do like to go through these guys because they're just as good.
Well, a short time ago, Canadians woke up to yet a second Christmas within a few weeks. It was a Christmas miracle. Trudeau resigning the prime ministership, but it's a lot more complicated than that. But here was the live moment.
So the truckers, they don't got to worry about Trudeau no more. That's going crazy. You see how quick people start acting different when Trump comes around? People start resigning, doing all kinds of stuff different. But that's what we want. That's what we voted for. The majority vote wins.
Just a short time ago when Prime Minister Justin Trudeau resigned. Watch.
Over the holidays, I've also had a chance to reflect and have had long talks with my family about our future. Throughout the course of my career, any success I have personally achieved has been because of their support and with their encouragement. So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today.
Tell them.
I intend to resign as party leader, as prime minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process. Last night, I asked the president of the Liberal Party to begin that process.
They're not going to be able to pick a liberal.
A real choice in the next
There's
election.
somebody else that's
and it
coming
has become
through.
clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles,
What internal battles?
I cannot be the best option in
You
that
got,
election.
you got like.
It was a remarkable moment, and it comes
You
on a
getting
day
sick?
when President Trump's vote for the presidency in the United States is being certified on Capitol Hill. Coincidence? This is all happening on the same day? I don't know. Is the Trump effect real? There's
Yes.
obviously so much to unpack with this story. It's not as cut and dry as, oh, he's resigning. There's a lot more to this story. David Creighton, independent journalist out of Canada, out of Ottawa, Canada, has been tracking this very closely, writes at the Post-Millennial, and has been all over X explaining what is going on about this. David, great to see you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, Clayton.
So
Nice
there's a
to
lot
be
to this
back.
story. Nice to see you. It is an unbelievable new year for Canadians. A lot of my Canadian friends have been texting me throughout the morning like, wow, this is amazing. What a great, great day for Canada. But it's a lot more complicated than that. So can you explain what exactly is going on here?
Yes, it's very complicated. And if you listen to Justin Trudeau's resignation, you have to listen to it maybe 2 or 3 times until you realize he hasn't resigned today. And a lot of people are getting that wrong. He's intending to resign as soon as the Liberal Party selects a new leader, which could be up to 4 months away. And he's going to remain as prime minister, at least as an interim prime minister, until a new leader of the Liberal Party becomes prime minister. But a lot of people are saying Justin Trudeau's gone as of today. Well, he's indicated he intends to go, but you really have to read the fine print. in this resignation speech to discover that it's not happening today. And he's certainly given himself some room for maneuverability here. And, Natalie's always joking that I can never say anything good about Justin Trudeau. Well, perhaps I can today. He's certainly giving himself room to move in many directions in the next 4 months. And I don't trust Justin Trudeau to do the right thing. He's very slippery, and this might be just a new incarnation. But the concerning thing here, Clayton, is that in addition to saying he's going to resign, and okay, I'll give him that. Maybe he will resign if the Liberals have a leadership convention and if they select a new leader. But he's prorogued Parliament, and for those who don't know what that means, is he suspended Parliament, sent everybody home. Actually, the Governor General of Canada did. The Queen's or the King's representative, excuse me, I'm still thinking of the Elizabethan age. The King's representative, our Governor General, Mary Simon, concurred with Justin Trudeau's request to shut down Parliament. It's called proroguing. And that means we're not going to have people sitting in the House of Commons for another 2.5 months. March 24th is the magic date they come back. So what happens in that time period? Justin Trudeau can virtually do what he wants. He's still prime minister. He can plan for the future. He can plan to be at the G7 conference in June. He wants to be around for as much of this as possible. And it also means what happens when Donald Trump becomes president on January 20th? He has said absolutely nothing about exempting Canada from this 25% tariff that he threatened us with a month ago because of border security concerns. Trudeau came back with a $1.3 billion border security package that's mainly about drones that will be up there to monitor all of the illegals crossing the border. There's no enforcement here. And it's a 6-year plan, much like Justin Trudeau's military spending. It's projected. He will spend these X billions of dollars in 10 years' time when he's no longer prime minister. He will spend money on border security in 4, 5, 6 years' time when he's no longer prime minister. This isn't fooling Donald Trump. That's why he continued to troll Justin Trudeau all through Christmas and New Year's as the governor of the 51st state. He doesn't take Justin Trudeau seriously. He's going to take him less seriously now as a lame duck prime minister who's negotiating for Canada when the House of Commons isn't even sitting. Justin Trudeau has put Canada in an extremely fragile position. We could be looking at a depression, an economic catastrophe in this country because he refuses to look after the country. He's more concerned about his own legacy, about his own survivability, and of course about keeping the Liberal Party intact. Because after all, well, he considers himself the savior of the Liberal Party before he became leader. It was doing rather poorly. It's doing even worse now after 9 or 10 years of Justin Trudeau. But he really does see himself as that party's savior. And we're in a very, very difficult position. Justin Trudeau has put Canada in an even worse position than it was a month ago right now. And I can't emphasize this enough. Proroguing Parliament is a horrendous decision. The Governor General is in the pocket of Justin Trudeau. She should never have concurred with this stupid idea. And she should have said it's not in the national interest. It's only in your interest, Justin Trudeau, and the Liberal Party's interest.
So then Canadians have to deal with Justin Trudeau's policies with him sort of sidestepping Parliament. And a lot of these similar things are happening right now in the United States. Joe Biden on his way out of office, pushing a whole bunch of agenda items that will basically hamstring President Trump when he comes into office, stopping drilling in upwards of 650 different locations all up across the east coast of the United States, oil drilling that'll ban that from happening, so Trump won't be able to do that. So sort of putting all of these policies in place that down the line will show up.
That's not true, though. Trump already said that he can take that down. Biden is a crooked guy, man. Like, since he walked into office, all his agenda was to destroy. He destroyed everything. And then now he's about to just leave out like he didn't do nothing, which he didn't do anything to help anybody, but he did a lot to hurt everybody.
And really affect Canadians many, many years from now. Is that what's happening?
Well, that's precisely what's happening. And we are in a position where we should have had a non-confidence vote on January 26th, 27th, 28th, when the House was supposed to come back after the Christmas recess. Now, that was still too late because Donald Trump becomes president in 2 weeks' time, precisely 2 weeks' time today, January 20th. The House of Commons should have been back prepared for that, to ensure that we had a border security plan that was sufficient to avoid the 25% tariff, which is going to be catastrophic for Canada. But because Trudeau prorogued Parliament, we have no opportunity to have a non-confidence vote against the Trudeau government. We have no opportunity to bring down this government now until March at the very, very earliest. And this is the predicament he's put us in because Pierre Poilievre, the Conservative leader, had a very astute plan worked out to introduce a non-confidence.
See, this is the guy right here. This is the guy that they need. I'll show you a video after this about this dude. Maybe they may show it. I don't know.
Motion today at the committee stage, which could then be transferred.
This is Canada's future. If they really want to get out of their problems, from what I've seen, this guy has common sense. That's the truth about like politics. If you have no common sense, do not go for office. Like, do not come out here trying to make crazy different ideas that nobody ever heard of and try to force it down people's throats. You're just supposed to tell them, like, I'm going to make clean water. Oh, hey, I'm ready to vote for that. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's how you get a vote. You talk about common sense ideas. I'm going to make sure that we have clean water. I'm going to make sure we have clean air, where our food is going to be properly made. We're going to try to work on investing in our country so we can be able to be one of the top tier countries, especially if we're close to America. We need to evaluate how we can be able to assist America because they're closest to us and we're allies with them. Just simple things. And then stop trying to be something that nobody actually gives a fuck about. Like, we do not want to change the source of mentality that we've been raised on. Like, that is the part where these liberals, man, and these progressives, they do not care about trying to change the algorithm of life. They will try to destroy that. And we just want to be left alone. We want to say, hey, mom. You don't want to say, hey, birthing woman. You know what I'm saying? That's not how it works. It's just stupid.
To Parliament when it resumed sitting later this month. That's all gone to hell because there will be no Parliament sitting at the end of the month. There will be no opportunity for a non-confidence motion to be voted on. And we're looking now at late March for the earliest possibility of bringing this government down. I would still hope that's an option because I want Justin Trudeau to so-called lead his party in the next election so he gets the shellacking he deserves. He wants to leave politics undefeated. If there's any motivation here, if he really intends to resign, it's only because he wants to leave the public stage undefeated. Like, he's the guy that brought the Liberal Party back from the abyss, and he retired undefeated. He was never defeated by Pierre Poilievre of the Conservatives. And that's what this is all about. Unfortunately, in the interim, Canada is going to go through horribly cataclysmic times.
I mean, it's basically Canada has no government at the moment. President Trump comes in, puts in place tariffs, border policies that are going to close the United States borders, and then Canada doesn't have anybody there to respond. It's really shocking.
Well, it is because, as I said, Donald Trump does not take Justin Trudeau seriously. He didn't take him seriously when he was still a prime minister who hadn't decided about his future. Now that he says, I'm going to resign, he's a lame duck. He's a Joe Biden of Canada now. And why would Donald Trump take this man seriously? Or any of the non-entities who are lining up to take his place? That's the other piece of the scenario that people aren't considering in to a larger degree. There's nobody out there who really has the gravitas, the stature to somehow become an equal partner with Donald Trump to negotiate. Don't tell me Mark Carney, the former governor of the Bank of England and the Bank of Canada, and who spent the last 4 years as the UN goodwill ambassador for climate change, is going to impress Donald Trump. I'm sorry. He's going to see this guy as another clown in the clown show, another clown in the circus that our parliament has become in Canada. I don't think for a minute this is going to impress Donald Trump. We needed a new election. We needed it soon. And as far as I'm concerned, I think Donald Trump would take Pierre Poilievre seriously because he would win if an election were held today, an overwhelming majority with close to 50% of the vote in a four-party system, which would be phenomenal. So that's what we needed to have happen in order for Canada to survive in any kind of negotiations with Donald Trump's America First USA, which Pierre Poilievre understands. He wants Canada First to meet with US America First as equal partners across the border and saying, how can we resolve our differences to each other's mutual satisfaction? How?
Yeah, see, I want to show you this dude because they're trying to stop him from basically being the next prime minister. And
Want the effects of Viagra?
um, the people of Canada, they want him.
Engineers and technicians from Canada on the job to make sure that everything ran smoothly. Let's take a look.
What we got here?
Oh, what, they couldn't get a paperweight? All right, Justin Trudeau, as has been rumored for the past week or so, is donezo. Here's how Fox News reported it just about an hour ago.
Breaking news north of the border, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau moments ago says he will resign today. Says he will stay on until a replacement is picked. CBC is reporting that he's set to hold a news conference next hour. Trudeau is facing mounting pressure from within his own Liberal Party to step down. He trails behind opposition Conservatives in Canada. His job approval is in free fall. You got affordable housing shortages. You got persistent inflation. You got worsening economic outlook. You got all that up against him. For Canadian citizens. So we'll get that to you next hour. We got some break.
Yeah, you know, all that stuff was going on here in America, and Biden thought he could run for 4 more years. Kamala Harris decided to run on it as a winning record. I guess at least Justin Trudeau has a little bit more political sense than them. He's stepping down, although the difference is his own party, the Liberal Party up there in Canada. I do like the fact that they just admit who they are. You know, the Liberals here in America still try to call themselves Democrats. Although nothing about what they just did in the last year on a national stage had anything to do with the democratic process. That's okay. They should just call themselves liberals. That's what they are.
Or progressives.
They are. The party of Justin Trudeau up in Canada said, get out of here. We're going to get slaughtered if you stay as our nominee. If you're going to slaughtered if you run again as prime minister.
Just like how they did Joe Biden.
Please leave. And, well, he's leaving. And at the announcement there in Ottawa, he put the finest engineers and technicians from Canada on the job to make sure that everything ran smoothly. Let's take a look. Oof. Oh, what, they couldn't get a paperweight? He could just get a rock. All right, so the wind blows his speech away, and now he's coming to make his dramatic entrance. I do like the maple leaf. There goes. Who the hell knows what he said? They had the microphone, they had the speakers, they had the cameras, they had the perfect shot with the wood podium and the maple leaf and everything. And someone forgot.
See, this is why I don't watch mainstream media. It's because there's guys like Larry from Town Hall that puts me up on game. But yeah, I'm not gonna always just give you mainstream media. I'm gonna give you YouTube media too, because these guys are professionals too, just like me. Maybe not, but I'm trying.
To stick a rock on the speech. He couldn't even walk holding the speech in a binder. What? This is why Canada's falling behind. This is why Canada needs to be liberated.
That's why Canada's stuff is blowing away in the wind.
Now, this move could shore up Trump's intention to turn Canada into the 51st state. You can all breathe a sigh of relief there, I suppose, when he finally got his stuff together, let's say, before waxing poetic about how great their hockey program is, and even more importantly, Tim Horton coffee and maple donuts, Prime Minister Trudeau had this to say.
I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process. Last night, I asked the President of the Liberal Party to begin that process. This country deserves a real choice in the next election, and it has become clear to me that if I'm having to fight in...
So what, they about to do a coup too? They about to just throw somebody in there nobody voted for, and it's going to be representing the Liberal Party?
Internal battles, I cannot be the best option in that election. Mes chers amis, comme vous savez, je suis un fighter.
Yeah.
What?
Au revoir. This smarmy, stuck-up, arrogant, holier-than-thou, sanctimonious little prick. It's a beautiful thing to see him under fire like this, and I love that he's blaming his own party. You know, the people deserve a choice, and clearly, if I'm having to fight internal battles, the battle is that they want you gone because you suck. Listen, I'd love the Canadian people to have that choice too. I mean, this is you know what, Pierre, that's his dad. Justin, you should stay in there, man. Screw your party. Just fight. You know, pull a Biden. Jump on in there. Say, no.
Yeah.
I want the Canadian people to be able to pick me if they want me.
I'm the only one that can
Let's
win.
go all in so we can have a complete, clean sweep in Parliament.
So we can destroy you.
It's so transparent what he's doing here, and he's trying to blame internal politics and internal fighting and squabbling. And no, if you're right, the people of Canada deserve a clear choice.
Yeah, but they're not going to get it.
You're the man who represents best the Liberal Party.
I know.
So just stay in there.
But now they're not.
You quitting little weasel. I mean, I guess the French part of French Canadian is compelling him to wave the surrender flag and get off the stage, and that might make a difference actually for the Liberal Party. I doubt it. You just heard the litany of all the problems up there right now. And meanwhile, let me just say, as his nation was falling apart, as he has rampant crime, as he has rampant inflation, as he has issues with immigration and migrants and illegal immigration screwing up the job market there. You've got disgruntled people. You have a budget crisis there. They always tout how great their healthcare system is. Let me just tell you something. There's two things to know about the Canadian healthcare system in the last several years. Number one, it's going belly.
Yes, going belly up. And if you think that you're about to get care, wait in line.
Belly up. And number two, the most effective thing they've come up with is to convince people to kill themselves.
That's another thing. They got a law where now if you don't want to live, if you're going through some stuff, if you want to kill yourself, if you are over 18, you can just go to your doctor and say, hey, I don't want to go through this anymore. Can you relieve me? And they will do it. Jack Kevorkian is in prison still to this day. And America, if we get liberals in office again, they love this type of stuff. They'll take that on. They will make people able to take their own life if they want to. They don't care. If it's going to get them some votes, they will do it. They will do bestiality. That's another thing that Canadians are okay with. Not that I know for a fact, but that there's a law. But I've heard that that's not a problem if you have relations with your animals. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know anything. Just allegedly.
If I were to die tomorrow, I'd want every diabetic, including you, to know this. Fed up with headaches, blurry vision, and
so they no longer become a burden on the state. And everyone who wants social health care in America, take a look, because that's what it looks like. Hey, let's legalize suicide, and now it'll become, something that we prescribe and encourage people to do, because it's a lot less expensive to keep people living here in this socialized healthcare system. It's a mess. It's a complete and total disaster, and the Conservative Party is looking to swing its way back into power. Videos of this show when it first started, it was a little over a year ago when it first broke. He was talking to a reporter in Canada, and this is how you deal with the media.
This is the guy that they need to be their prime minister. Check him out. This is how, this is when you know that you got the right guy, when you hear stuff like this from the media. Check it out.
Yeah. When you're conservative politicians, this is the only way you can deal with the media.
On the topic, I mean, in terms of your sort of strategy currently, you're obviously taking the populist pathway.
Wait a minute. See, I wish I had an apple right now because I love apples too. But this man, he makes eating an apple like great again. You know what I'm saying? Like he's doing it and he's making a spite out of it. And you could tell like he's like, so what? What are you talking about? Watch this. This is how you talk to the media. I'm gonna pull it back just a little bit because I want you to get the full breakdown.
This is the only way you can deal with the media.
On the topic, I mean, in terms of your sort of strategy currently, you're obviously taking the populist pathway.
What does that mean?
Well, appealing to people's more emotional levels, I would guess. I mean,
What do you mean by that?
certainly you tap.
So you're not supposed to do what the people want?
Tap very strong ideological language quite frequently.
Like what?
Left wing, this and that, right wing. I mean, it's that type of ideological thing.
I never really talk about left
But
or right.
anyways,
There's not even like the same type of left and right in Canada like America. Theirs are different.
I don't really believe in that.
Okay. A lot of people would say that you're simply taking a page out of the Donald Trump book.
Like which people would say that?
Well,
this dude looks like he's reading from some little pad. Like these are the questions that he had to ask. And this is all he had to come up with to talk to the next prime minister. I would have been like, how's that apple taste? You know what I'm saying? I would have been asking. If that's why I want to be the guy. If you want a real political analyst and actual people who are going to come up and start telling them, no, your breath stank. Like, it's not, I'm just going to tell them the truth. Like, that's not fact. You have bad breath. I'm sorry. And maybe somebody else can't smell it, but I can. And that's how I'm going to be on everything when it comes to politicians. I'm just going to tell them how it is. And this dude knows how to eat apple.
Well, I'm sure a great many Canadians, but
like who?
I don't know who, but
well, you're the one who asked the question, so
yeah.
you must know somebody.
Okay, I'm sure there's some out there, but anyways, the point of this question is.
No, he said, check this out again. He said, I believe that there's somebody out there.
I don't know who, but
well, you're the one who asked.
So he said again, he don't know who, but he believes that there's somebody out there.
Certainly you tap very strong ideological language quite frequently.
Like what?
Left wing, this and that, right wing. I mean, it's that type of ideological spectrum.
I never really talk about left or right.
Anyways,
I don't really believe in that.
Okay, a lot of people would say that you're simply taking a page out of the Donald Trump book.
Like which people would say that?
Well, I'm sure a great many Canadians, but
like who?
I don't know who, but
well, you're the one who asked the question, so
yeah.
You must know somebody.
Okay, I'm sure there's some out there, but anyways, the point of this question is, I mean, why should Canadians trust you with their vote, given
common sense?
Not just the sort of ideological inclination in terms of taking the page out of Donald Trump's book, but
what are you
also
talking about? What page? What page? Can you give me a page? Give me the
First
page.
of all, this is another thing. Donald Trump ran on common sense. I kept telling people, I said, we will figure out if America has common sense if they vote Donald Trump. If they don't vote Donald Trump, then we're doomed. That means that the majority of America can't see through what the heck is going on and not look at what's going on with their finances and everything like that. They have no common sense. Okay? And so if he's taking a page out of the Donald Trump book, if he's taking anything, only thing he took was common sense.
You keep saying
in terms of turning things quite dramatically in terms of Trudeau and the left wing and all of this. I mean, you make quite a it's quite a play that you make on it. So I'm
not sure. I don't know what your question is.
Then forget that. Why should Canadians trust you with their vote?
Common sense.
That's it. Honestly, I fell in love with this man from that moment. From that moment, I fell in love with him. How great.
See, that's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. Like, it's not that hard to figure this stuff out, man. You don't want somebody who's going to be playing around with you. He's going to try to act like he's going to do something for you and ain't got nothing for you at all. It's either he does or he doesn't. And the elected people that have been in office recently have been just blowing all kinds of bad things in the wrong direction towards us. And then they expect us to just take it and run with it. So, I don't know, man. I got one more thing for my buddy from Town Hall.
If you're
Yeah, I suggest everybody go to my buddy's channel. Don't know him personally, but I feel like I do because I watch him every day. It's Larry's Town Hall. It's live. And it's a good news
Elon
channel.
Musk and what's been going on at X. He's also surrendered to the American people who voted overwhelmingly for Donald Trump, thus ending the censorship and political correctness, the DEI crap. But there was something hidden in his message he delivered to you that most people are overlooking. Not here. I'll tell you why. It's probably the most significant part of today's ground.
I didn't tell you what this is all about. This might help out everything. If you don't know, I'm on Facebook and stuff like that. You can catch me on there. I use it more for personal, like friends, family, and stuff like that. But I do have one for the page. Is That Boy's Good Studio. You can go there. But on my regular page with my name and stuff, and it's just for my family and stuff, I'll be trying to give them information just like I'm doing now for you guys. And if you want to see a page that's been blocked, all the stuff that I post have been taken down, go all the way to 2020 on my page, my personal page. I may show it one day. You won't be able to find it, but they just deleted so much stuff. And all these things that they deleted now are true. They're true. So it's like, why did you do that? And why can't you put it back or something? It's sad. Information can only be discussed, and then people, as a majority, will come to a conclusion on the facts. Other than that, man, if it's hot to you, it's not to somebody else. Some people can't even feel anything. They don't even feel pain. So you can't say that it's truthful to every person.
Groundbreaking statement from the chairman and founder of Meta. That's coming up in just a moment. Plus, Donald Trump Jr. wheels down in Greenland. And there was a statement today from the Prime Minister of Denmark that actually is moving the storyline along that might actually help Greenland become potentially a protectorate of the United States of America. And absolute fireworks on CNN over yesterday's coverage of January 6th and looking back 4 years ago, their anger over the American people not doing what they told them to do and defeating Donald Trump. And of course, Scott Jennings was right there, tip of the spear, to push back on all of it. We're so excited. We've got a loaded show for you, and we're brought to you by Birch Gold. I'm Larry O'Connor. You can call me Larry. Thank you for tuning in today to our live stream. We're so happy to have you. Thanks for letting us be a part of your midday here, and give us a thumbs up, like there, just so we can draw more people to the live stream, to the live chat, so you guys can all participate and debate and discuss.
Yeah, do the same for me, too. I'm not as good as he is at saying it. He's got it down packed. I need to get a little rhythm to mine. It's like, hey, how's it going, guys? Why don't you just go ahead and like, subscribe, go ahead and throw some shares out, throw a comment, let me know how I'm doing, and send some money if you want. I don't care. I don't got a place where you can do that yet, but in the future. But yeah, I do need to figure out a little saying and get that down. But this is my third episode. No excuses here, but I'm still learning. Yeah, let me get to exactly what I was trying to show you. It's all about the good old Facebook Zuckerberg.
Of Meta, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg. Let's take a quick look at this video. I'm going to interrupt it only a couple of times to give you some commentary on what I think is really, really important and sort of the underlying message here. First, look at the outfit. Who's styling him? There's something different here, right? Doesn't he look like he's about to give you some, insights? And
he's trying to be cool, that's all.
Into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. He's dressed like he's about to host one of those bro podcasts that Barron Trump recommended his dad go on. It's like he wants to be in the club now. It's obvious what's going on here. And the way he delivered this message about the new.
I believe that if it wasn't for the money, Zuckerberg would be an incel. That's just my opinion. And he's just awkward. So when it comes to him saying that he's not the end guy, he's not the one that everybody likes, he's going to feel some type of way and he wants to be a part of it. And that's what's happening. He sees that not Facebook, but X, Twitter is a way more responsive to people. People go to it and see things that they really want to see. And there's a place for Facebook. I think Facebook is for more family and friends, just to communicate. You should just keep it that way. You shouldn't be really worried about a lot of advertisement. The advertisements are way too much. And he needs to figure out a way where people can make money off of like YouTube. I can't wait until if YouTube comes in and comes off and says the same thing that this man says, because this right here is shocking. Like, he basically is going to give us back our freedom. And it wasn't even his to take. But the only reason they can do that is because they have it on their own platform. It's like their own earth. So if you want to come and to his earth, you have to go by his rules. You know, the same thing with YouTube. I hope that the algorithm and the people of YouTube gods, that's what I call them, the YouTube gods. I hope they don't get mad at me and send me away because they can. So this is what is going on with Zuckerberg.
Anti-censorship regime over at Facebook. The words he used meant to communicate directly to Americans who supported Donald Trump and identify themselves as MAGA conservatives. I'll point it out as it happens. Let's listen.
That's something important today, because it's time to get back to our roots around free expression on Facebook and Instagram. I started building social media to give people a voice. I gave a speech at Georgetown 5 years ago about the importance of protecting free expression, and I still believe this today. But a lot has happened over the last several years. There's been widespread debate about potential harms from online content. Governments and legacy media have pushed to censor more and more. A lot of this is clearly political, but there's also a lot of legitimately bad stuff out there. Drugs, terrorism, child exploitation. These are things that we take very seriously, and I want to make sure that we handle responsibly. So we built a lot of complex systems to moderate content. But the problem with complex systems is they make mistakes. Even if they accidentally censor just 1% of posts, that's millions of people. And we've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship. The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech. So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms.
All right, couple things there, and we'll get back to it because there's a lot loaded into this statement. I cannot overemphasize how earth-shattering this is right now, based on where we've.
Oh, it is. It is. It's very earth-shattering because, like, we've had to go through this for nothing. Because he felt that the Democrats were right. You know what I'm saying? And they weren't even in power. I'm not sure. It wasn't him. It was TikTok. Not TikTok. Twitter. Twitter banned the president of the United States off of their platform. You gotta be kidding me. If anybody you do not have to worry about, I don't care what he say. He can say, bitch, I don't give a fuck. Whatever. That's the president of the United States. He got a right to be on your dusty ass platform. You get what I'm saying? No, yeah, it's yours. But god dang it. No. I think that Zuckerberg banned Trump too. No, but Trump wasn't going to nobody after that. He was just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna make my own. And he ended up making it right. That's how and then it forced somebody like Elon to come out of nowhere and buy out Twitter because he liked it what certain people that were banned it off of Twitter, and he felt that they should be able to speak. And so he invested all this money into the stocks of Twitter so he can buy everybody's stocks out and he can run it. And then he brought a sink in so that it could sink in. Get it?
Been with Meta, where we've been with Facebook. You ask any content creator out there, right of center, and they'll tell you that about a couple of years ago, things just absolutely crashed across the board with Facebook. And it was because of these systems that they put in place to silence our voices. Now, he's blaming the systems for making mistakes, but at least he's acknowledging that that mistakes were made. Now, I believe they were deliberate mistakes. And if the systems didn't work right and ended up censoring voices because they were guilty of wrongthink for being conservative, well, one has to look at who created those systems to empower them to make those mistakes. He sort of reveals it a little later on, and that's what I think is really the hidden secret, sort of overlooked part of this statement.
I wish I could show you how many stuff that's taken down.
That I'm going to point out to you coming up in just a few minutes, but also understand what he just said, that they've got to go back to their roots, getting away from censorship and onto free speech. That's an admission that they have gone astray, that they've been out in the wilderness and abandoned free speech. He also said that this last election sent a message that that's what the American people expect Facebook to do. Think about that for a second. Yes, that's huge in terms of a continued ripple effect from the Donald Trump victory this last November. But he's also acknowledging that how free speech and the First Amendment is enforced and respected in this country on social media platforms like Facebook are reliant on who won the last election. Well, that's absolute and total bullshit. And you know it. The whole point of our Constitution and the First Amendment and our God-given right to free speech protected by the First Amendment. Remember, the Constitution doesn't give us the right to free speech. We were born with free speech. The Constitution is to protect us from the government intruding on our free speech. Well, it's supposed to transcend who happens to be sitting in the White House. These are our rights. You can't but decide by executive action or by new policy from the executive branch of government. Even by law, you can't infringe on our constitutional rights. The only way you can infringe on our constitutional rights is if you amend the Constitution. And here's Mark Zuckerberg saying, well, the last election tells us that there's a different tide in this country, and so we're going back to our roots with free speech. No, dude. We're supposed to embrace free speech, enforce free speech, acknowledge free speech, and be free of any intrusion on our free speech, regardless of the election. Thank you for acknowledging that you were violating our rights as a corporation, at least. Obviously, the First Amendment is there to protect us from the government infringing on our rights, but he's acknowledging that he infringed on those rights based on the presidential elections past, and now he's sending us back to freedom because of the last election. That's an incredible acknowledgement, whether he knows he just admitted it or not. All right, back to our friend here with the what do the kids like to call that? Is that a Jew fro? Is that technically and I mean that with a great affection. I have a couple of friends who are Jewish that have hair like that. Is that a Jew fro, or is that just a perm that he got gussied up with for, I don't know. Let's get back to Mark Zuckerberg.
More specifically, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes similar to X, starting in the US. After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy. We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US.
All right, so a couple things there that I just want to make sure you didn't overlook. He set up the fact-checking regime in Facebook in response to the media going nuts about misinformation. So he didn't like the press he was getting. Oh my gosh, they're saying on CNN that there was misinformation on Facebook. So let's respond to that. Not respond to the consumer, not respond to his customer, not respond to the American people, respond to Rachel Maddow and George Stephanopoulos by creating this fact-checking regime. He also just admitted that the fact-checking regime at Facebook was too politically biased. Just so you know, the fact-checking regime at Facebook partnered with mainstream media outlets. USA Today, I believe, participated as one of the partners. So did this website called The Dispatch. You know, The Dispatch, they pretend to be sort of a conservative website with Jonah Goldberg, Steve Hayes. I think they're the founders. David French used to write over there. They pretend that they're, the real conservatives, right of center. They were fact checkers for Facebook. And Mark Zuckerberg, their pal, their partner, just threw him under the bus by acknowledging that they were too biased. I love it. Of course, fact checkers are biased. And thank you, Mark Zuckerberg, for acknowledging the truth, the obvious truth. And for all of you watching right now, I'm glad that you don't partake in news and information from websites like The Dispatch and USA Today. Thank you for getting your content right here at Town Hall, at townhall.com, redstate.com, pjmedia.com, hotair.com, and Twitchy and Bearing Arms. We'll never pretend to be fact checkers and partner with Facebook because we know that fact checkers are biased. They're politically biased. So thank you, Zuckerberg. All right, back to the statement.
So over the next couple of months, we're going to phase in a more comprehensive community notes system. Second, we're going to simplify our content policies and get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse. What started as a movement to be more inclusive has increasingly been used to shut down opinions and shut out people with different ideas, and it's gone too far. So I want to make sure that people can share their beliefs and experiences on our platforms.
All of us have been saying that we were being censored because we happen to express our opinion about people coming into the country illegally and committing crimes and they should be deported. Boom, you violated our standards. I believe that there's only two genders, a boy and a girl, male and female. Boom, you're censored because you violated our standards. Biologically, scientifically, there are only people with XX chromosomes and XY chromosomes. And no matter what drugs you take and what surgery you perform, you're never going to change that scientific biological reality. Boom, your post was deleted because you violated our standards. He's now admitted it. I'm sorry if I'm too excited about this, but you got to understand how big this is. If they follow through with what he's saying right now, it's really going to change the way we talk to each other. We're going to get back to the good old days, when we could actually express our opinions on social media. Facebook's going to allow us to do that again. Gosh, thanks, Mark.
Third, we're changing how we enforce our policies to reduce the mistakes that account for the vast majority of censorship on our platforms. We used to have filters that scanned for any policy violation. Now, we're going to focus those filters on tackling illegal and high-severity violations. And for lower severity violations, we're going to rely on someone reporting an issue before we take action.
All right, now that's also huge. I don't know how many of you tried to post something and it got stopped before it could even get published on Facebook because it utilized certain words, or maybe it was a link to a website that they had already set up with their AI bots to prohibit happening. And it was like, what? This isn't terrorist information. I'm not sharing stuff, to encourage pedophilia or anything. That's what those screens are supposed to be set up for. No, they were set up to screen out automatically without any human being making a judgment call. They were screening out the things that hurt individuals' feelings on politics or what have you. He's doing away with all of that, he claims, and now they'll only look at a post if somebody actually proactively complains about it. Now, that's still rife with bias, and it opens themselves up to utilizing their own left-wing judgments on stuff. But that brings us to, again, what I believe is the hidden, most important, biggest part of this whole message that everybody's overlooking. Nobody gets it. You're about to, because you're watching me right now. Watch.
Do you know what eating cabbage can do to your heart? Cabbage is a cruciferous vegetable that resembles lettuce and can be red, purple, white, or green. But what many people don't know is that it can have a serious effect on the body's inflammatory response. Is it healthy? Here's what you need to know.
Goodbye blood pressure meds. I'm throwing them all away. Why? Because after hearing Dr. Livingood, I don't need them anymore.
The problem is that the filters make mistakes, and they take down a lot of content that they shouldn't. So by dialing them back, we're going to dramatically reduce the amount of censorship on our platforms. We're also going to tune our content filters to require much higher confidence before taking down content. The reality is that this is a trade-off. It means we're going to catch less bad stuff, but we'll also reduce the number of innocent people's posts and accounts that we accidentally take down. Fourth, we're bringing back civic content. For a while, the community asked to see less politics because it was making people stressed. So we stopped recommending these posts. But it feels like we're in a new era now, and we're starting to get feedback that people want to see this content again. So we're going to start phasing this back into Facebook, Instagram, and Threads while working to keep the communities friendly and positive.
All right, that's not the biggest thing. That's big, but that's not this hidden thing that everyone's overlooking. I'm going to point it out. It's still coming. But let me just tell you, if you're a fan of content like this show right now and you're watching us on Facebook, if you like the Ben Shapiro podcast or any of the Daily Wire podcasts, if you like Dan Bongino, if you like Benny Johnson, if you like all of my colleagues, Charlie Kirk, and my colleagues who do what we do here with right-of-center content direct to you, streaming the way that we're doing right now, what he just said is a game changer. Because for the last several years, behind the scenes, looking at our analytics, we have been suppressed. We have been taken out of their feeds, out of the news feeds, out of Threads, out of the algorithm or whatever other description you want to take it. We all looked at our numbers. We'll all tell you the same thing. In fact, our buddy Benny Johnson, I think, just posted this last night on his X account. He posted a screenshot of his analytics where all of his numbers just crashed. We've all been experiencing this. We don't even look at Facebook anymore for any kind of significant revenue or traffic anymore. That's not where there's been any business. And he just admitted why. Because they were saying, oh, people were tired of politics. They didn't want to hear about politics. Well, that's bullshit. Of course, people will care about politics. People, all the other platforms, political content is going through the roof, right? Why was Facebook standing alone? They disincentivize content creators like yours truly to participate in the content that we make on Facebook. There was a while there where we weren't even posting the show on Facebook or any of our videos on Facebook. It wasn't worth the effort. And now we know why. Because they specifically deliberately went out of their way to take it out of their streams, take it out of the threads. He's just now admitted, okay, we're going to get back to allowing civic content as he.
Well, that's where we at with that. But I want to show you real quick something real quick. Here we go. Do. Wait a minute. Oh yeah. All right. Here we go. Do. Dang it. It won't do that either. Here we go. Here we go. And let's see here. Boop. All right. So let me make sure that I'm doing this right. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to show you my YouTube. And not my YouTube, but my Facebook page. Somewhat. I don't really want people to be on the internet knowing me like that, but I'm going to show something and hopefully I don't give myself away. But all right. It's hard to do this process. Gonna try to do some little stuff just so, just so I can cover some stuff up. Because I wasn't prepared to do this. But, okay. So, here goes one. And this was 2023. And all I asked was, do you believe in white privilege? Like, okay, think about this. Like, why would you think that that's the question or what I was about to say? I don't even remember what I did. I think it was a video that I had worked on with some girl that I came in on her channel. And I told her about a story that I went to a bar and asked a white girl. I was just going to ask, do you believe in white privilege? Do you believe that you're more privileged than black people? And she honestly just said yes. I was like, oh man. But yeah, right here, I can get a little closer. Right there, boom. Do you believe in white privilege? You know. And I'm gonna keep going. I'll scroll some more, find you another one. Let's see here. It doesn't take long either. They're quick with it. All right. Do-do-do-do-do. Come on. Oh, there goes another one. Okay. See, I said the same thing again on this one, and they will not let this show. Why? Okay. The white person says they have more privilege than me. Is that true? I'm going to let you know that you are wrong. Okay. Yeah, and that was with I guess maybe she ended her show or something like that, that episode, and is nowhere to be found. Or that was, but that's nothing. I'm going off just something off the drills because that was just that situation for that, but that was two different situations that were I was talking about the same thing because I was so boggled about how a white person really actually has been trained and believes that they are more privileged than black folks. I think that I'm no privileged more than any other person other than a person maybe who's faster than me, taller than me, maybe got better looks than me, maybe got a family that has more finances than me, but it has nothing to do with your color. Sorry about that, man. Jesus Christ. Only knowing that I'm on YouTube. But I'm gonna wrap it up. That's pretty much it for today. I went really late because I don't gotta work tomorrow. I can have a good time with you guys, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. You learned something. I'll see you tomorrow after 12. And just wanted to let you know. And this is always true. That boy's good.